12 years in that division and they're out.
Hey guys, welcome back to SEADOGS Can Fly. This is episode 24, season number 5, and we're still in League 1. Double header for you today. We're at home to Peterborough in the league before we travel to the King Power Stadium in the FA Cup third round to play Leicester. Neil Lennon's in charge there, and they now play 4-2-3-1, so it'll be interesting to see how Concerto does against a Premier League team using a formation that it usually plays pretty well against. They've got Divock Origi, Hadji, Jack Grealish, along with some other great players, but of course they have lost the likes of Jamie Vardy, so could be an interesting game there. Let's jump straight into the team because I want to show you a new signing. It's already been given away by the title of this episode. It's Angel Gomes. Plays on the left wing for me. He can also play on the right. He's just as good as an inverted winger as he is a winger because he's strong on his left foot and very strong on his right foot. So perfect for us. If we want to switch sides with Concerto, we can do. He can dribble. He's reasonably fast. He can pass. He's got amazing flair. He's not been very good since we first signed him, but that's because I'm trying to field him on that left wing as a supporting winger. Not ideal for the type of player he is. I'm hoping he's going to adapt to the role. The reason we've got him in is because Ryan Williams, while he scored a lot of goals with his head, has not performed that well with the ball at his feet. So I wanted to have a second option on that left wing because Samba just is not good enough. He's not going to cut the mustard. We've got loads to get through with the schedule, guys. We're now on the 1st of January, so we've played for an awful lot of games since that Crewe Alexander victory. But before we jump into that, if you do want to see more of this content, please do subscribe and click the bell button to get notified when new episodes go live. And if you enjoy the episode, why not give us a thumbs up? It would help the channel massively. It doesn't cost you now. We lost to Luton after beating Crewe, and that was in the Cup. We also lost to Wimbledon, who were 4th in the league, and then drew against Preston away from home. They were 2nd at the time, before beating Shrewsbury, who were just outside the playoffs, 2-0. We did get a few injuries, struggled especially in defence with that, before coming up against Walsall and winning 4-0 with thanks to this amazing strike from Louis Barry, before he got upstaged by David Salmon from midfield. This kid just keeps coming up with stunning goals. He may not be the most consistent, but when he turns up, boy does he perform well. Derby County next, we beat them 2-0 thanks to Callum Holmes' long-range effort. That was a tight affair, but we came out on top and we always looked like the better team. Williams got on the score sheet as well. Quite a few victories after that. The next most notable game I would say is probably the Wigan one, where we won 2-0 at home, but only because I played the Atlanta system with the 5 at the back. I've mentioned it time and time before. Concerto does struggle when teams play 2 DMCs, but leave 3 or 4 players up top to counter. It does commit a lot of bodies forward. So I decided to go with the Atlanta system, paid off buckets, and we ended up winning that match 2-0. And yet again, Salmon scored a blinder. Just look at this volley. It's got to go in slow motion because it's probably going to be goal of the season, I would say. We then came up against Luton, winning 4-3. That was a real thriller before Wigan, yet again, this time in the EFL Trophy. We did win that one 3-1. I played the Atlanta system again. And it was most notable actually because the AMC in the Atlanta system does get all over the pitch, which suited our new signing Gomes very well indeed. So it may be something to think about going forward. This goal here, courtesy of a Gomes assist over the top to Bowden, was a really lovely touch. We then thrashed Forest Green 6-1, which included this goal from Williams with link-up play and Lacour with this stunning little strike. We then beat Lincoln 2-0 away from home, which included yet another wonderful set of goals. One from Salmon, again, the main man, and Warburton with a beautiful strike from the edge of the area. Mansfield were dispatched 2-1 away from home, and Gillingham likewise 4-1. Angel Gomes scoring his first 2 goals for the club. As you can see, his mentals aren't fantastic, and I think that's partially what's holding him back a little bit. But you're probably not going to get to see him today other than off the bench, because I do want to play my best 11, and Williams is most certainly first choice on that left wing at the moment. Right boys, the first game at home to Peterborough, good record against these guys, so we are favourites. I think they reside further down the table in 20th, is it? Yep, 20th, so they're struggling against relegation. Beating them twice. They'll probably play a 4-5-1, but they could also play a 4-2-4 using 2 DMCs. We are absolutely flying in the league, as I said at the start of the video, so this should be a straightforward match. Lacour is out injured, he's only just come back, so I'm going to have to play Bowler on the right wing. Could have used Gomes there, but it's not really his preferred side. We're also missing Steve Mitchell, who's worked his way onto the bench of late, and he's really developed. He's come on an awful lot. But he's got a hernia, double hernia, so unfortunately he ain't going to play. Matthew Wardle's got a twisted ankle. He's been out for quite a while now, which has been a bit frustrating because he's our main stalwart at centre-back. And I don't think he's going to be back for the... No, he's not going to be back for the Leicester game either, so that is a bit frustrating. We're going with Salmon in midfield alongside Holm, just because both players can create that little bit of magic. I'm trying to field pretty much the same team I will do against Leicester here. So let's see how we get on. It's the first highlight as Holm throws the ball in, Jarman's on the end of it. The replacement for Wardle, who's usually on the end of sort of crosses like that due to his jumping reach, goes and scores. That is a cracking start to the game inside of 4 minutes. I am actually considering bringing Jabels out of the team and putting Barry in, because Barry's performed much better all round, I would say. Yes, it's been a great goal there. Yes, it's been easier opposition he's been coming up against in the cups and the easy matches, but he has been the better player for me. Trond Martin Saltella in the false 9 position. He's more of a creator. He pulls players out of position, but getting on the end of the cross from Williams. Nice to see Williams turning provider for once. He's not done that enough this season, despite having 15 for crossing, so he's certainly capable. Well, there's not been an awful lot of highlights in this first half, guys. Peterborough haven't done anything, and because I've said that, Carnew's gone and scored. That's rather frustrating. Well, when they're taking pot shots like that, I think that's only their second shot of the game. Well, it's 2-1. We're not doing too badly here. 18 shots, 9 on target. We've restricted Peterborough, that's for certain. They're not creating an awful lot, so let's send the lads back out there with a pat on the back and get the job done. I'll probably use a shout in a second. In fact, I will do now. Let's shout, get creative. I don't want to tell them demand more, or else it might stress them out. A few players are pressured by it, but a few are inspired, which is the important bit, inspiring those attacking forwards. There's a knee ligament issue here for Saltella as Salmon scores a beautiful strike from the edge of the area. We'd better get him off. This is not looking very good for the young Norwegian. We don't want him injured, because not just because he's a vital player to the system we use, but also because it's going to stall his development. It's a throw in here, Kouame, Jade Jones cutting inside to Madison. That was a nicely worked goal from the throw-in from Peterborough. That pegs us back to 3-2 now. Game has been absolutely dominated by us, and to be fair, they've only had 3 shots on target and hardly a chance. So a bit frustrating that it looks like an even match when it definitely isn't, but getting the results is all that matters. We're now on a tally of 73, leading into what will be a huge game for us against Leicester City. Let's just quickly check what the injury status of Saltella is. He's out for 2 weeks. That's not too bad. It's not going to... Yes, it's going to cause a problem because we're not going to have him available for the Leicester game, but it shouldn't stall his development. Right, boys, the FA Cup 3rd round at the King Power Stadium. Tough game. It suggests they're going to play 4-2-3-1. They are favourites, may have inconsistent form. My biggest concern, though, is this opposition report, which tells me they should be playing a 4-5-1. Going against what they generally play. They also control possession, so that is going to be an issue for us because it does feed into their hands. Concerto doesn't perform so well against that type of tactic. I'm going to go with the Atlanta system. We're going to play 3 at the back. I'm going to try and defend our way through this game. I'm actually going to probably play Gordon on the right back position, I think, and we're going to have to bring on Yaffa at centre back. And I want Gomes just in behind the strikers, of which Ryan Williams is going to come in and take up his spot there for the first time this season as advanced forward. Now, Warburton, who I did want to play if we were playing the 4-2-4, is going to have to come out, I'm afraid, for Celia, because Celia is a much more natural player in that more advanced role. Right, that should just about do it, guys. So the idea behind this system is we've got a flat back 5 when we're defending. Fingers crossed That should be enough to deal with the threat from Leicester. My only worry is the fact that they're going to be doubled up on the wings against us, so that'll be something to watch out for. Like you can see here, we've created naff all after 27 minutes, and there's not been many chances either. Even though my players are composed and motivated, I'm going to shout, get creative. That should fire them up, which should, or inspire them. There we are, see, they're inspired to create a chance, which they've almost done. Delaney, Gordon. Oh, here we go, and this is the counter-attack from Leicester. Barnes is in behind, and they score. Nightmare. Oh dear. We got hit on the counter. Too many players forward for the throw-in, and that ball over the top in behind caught us out. We can switch the tactic up in the second half, but I'm going to bide my time with that. I'm not going to jump straight in to adjusting the system. I'm going to sympathise with the lads. Let's kick things off. As we tick over to the 60th minute, we're not creating many chances, so I think we will go to Concerto. I'm still happy that we did the right thing with the system, but now is the time to switch. That means Yaffa's going to have to come out, and I'm going to bring Lacour in on the right side, and I'm also going to bring Holm in as the advanced playmaker, because if we do get an opportunity on the edge of the area, he is the man to take it. Right, we switched to Concerto now, guys. This is the first opportunity with the system in play. And Williams, who is playing in the false 9 at the moment, he's been playing left wing all season, picks the ball up, but Gomes, his replacement, to Holm. Holm to Gomes, out wide, yes, Celia, cross the ball, go on lad, get a ball, go on Salmon, it's in! Is it allowed? Yes it is. Ryan Williams in the false 9 role has peeled off his defender and ended up sliding the ball home into the back of the net. That's 1-1 at the King Power Stadium. The tactical switch has worked, the overload out wide did really well there, as well as the overload in the box, which is what this system does very well. We're now down to the dying embers of the game, guys. We might be taking this back to the Flamingo Land Stadium as Barnes crosses the ball in. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, it's offside. Oh, thank God for that. I thought we'd been knocked out of the FA Cup in the last seconds of the game. 1-1. Great performance. We had 11 shots, 7 on target. Leicester had 14 and 8. So I think playing the Atlanta system worked very well to start the game off. Food for thought for the replay. Right, guys, the replay is actually in 3 days' time, so we're going to include that in this episode because it'd be a shame not to find out what happens with the game. The replay is here, and the report would suggest that Leicester are going to go back to a 4-2-3-1 because they're away from home, using a cautious mentality. I'm going to switch back to Concerto, going to go for it, give it a good go. Williams is going to play the false 9 role. I could play Gary Bowden there, but I don't feel like he's a big game player. I also want to play Gomes on the left wing. I think he played reasonably well when he came off the bench, so we'll give him a go out there. The only risk with that is that we don't have a natural left winger to bring on off the bench. No other real notable changes to the team other than the fact Holm is going to start as the advanced playmaker. I've mentioned his long shot ability before. He's scored 7 goals this season and he's got 11 assists, so real danger man for us. If we can get through here, we might be playing either Aldershot or Birmingham City in the next round. Great takedown there by Williams, but terrible pass in the end. I have brought Jabels off because, as you noted, he did pick up a bruised shin. That turned into a little bit of a niggle, so he's had 3 days out, which means he's on the bench because he's not quite fit. But that is a freaking great goal. Brilliant. Angel Gomes strikes home. That's his 3rd goal of the season. Ryan Williams made that for me, though, in the false 9 position. Great ball forward from Holm. Barry is the advanced forward, working the channels. Holm knocked the ball down. That's something that we haven't seen that role do yet, the false 9. It's not commonplace with it, but that's what Williams brings to every single role he plays, and he's got that height and that aerial presence. Hopefully we can get a 2nd goal here and settle the game down a little bit. I think the next goal could be very decisive. As Lacour crosses, well away. Holm works the ball out wide to Lacour. Lacour, the Frenchman. What can he do? That is what he can do. Terrible goalkeeping, but we will take that all day long. Stefan Lacour, yes, he's inconsistent. He doesn't always turn up, But when he does, it's generally in the big games, and it's generally when we're doing a live com. What a strike. Awful goalkeeping, but we will take that. Right, I think we'll probably do a shout of praise right at the end of the half, just to spur them on to maybe try and create another opportunity. Let's go for that now, I think. 33 minutes in. Fired the lads up. One more chance would be lovely. If we can get one more goal, this game is over. The fact we're even suggesting that's possible against a Premier League team is amazing, really. Bowman, good cross. Gomes, get in there. 4th goal of the season for Angel Gomes. He's finally found his form, and yet again nodded down to him. I'm not sure who that was. Was it Williams? Bowman with the right back. Crossed in. It wasn't Williams, no, I'm not sure who that was, to be honest. 3-0 up, and we are looking good for the 4th round here, guys. And if we do get Birmingham City, even if it is Birmingham City, I still fancy our chances, you know, of going through to the 5th round. I've got a few bookings we maybe need to take care of, as Delaney gets his own rebound and makes it 4. Love to see it. Looking confident as well. I think this game is going to get seen out, so I'm happy with the tactical change. This is why it's always so important, guys, to check your reports before the game and understand what your tactics do well against and what they don't, and always have more than one system. Have that second option to use when you need it. It really is the difference between winning the big games and losing them. Bowler to Bowden. Bowden is dropped deep there from the false 9 role. We're just happy to keep hold of the ball there. Lejeune, dawdling the ball forward. Salmon, nice ball over the top. Barry's through on goal, and that is sensational. What a goal. We worked the ball through very slowly indeed. Yes, Leicester were pretty terrible defensively there, but let's just watch this one more time. Salmon off the bench. What a pass that is. And Barry, well, that is composure for you. Give the lads a bit of praise. That should hopefully inspire or fire them up just to get us through the end of the game. And I think Barry's got himself sent off. Oh, that's frustrating. This is the issue with Concerto. It is pressing, it is aggressive, and that can happen. My own fault there. I should have spotted that he'd been booked and told him to ease off tackles. Now giving away a penalty. Not the time to panic though, guys. Lejeune goes the wrong way. And it's 5-1. It's alright. If they score in the next minute, then I'll start pondering, but we'll be fine. 5-1. We've got this game in the bag. 4,200 fans packed into the Flamingo Land Stadium. That's about a capacity attendance, I think. What a performance. 5-1. We're through to the next round of the FA Cup. Right, guys, well, we actually got Birmingham City in the 4th round of the FA Cup. That's going to be a home tie, so we've got an excellent chance of reaching the 5th round there. That about sums it up for today. Thank you very much for watching. As I always say, do subscribe if you haven't done so already, and click that bell button to get notifications. If you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. It'd be much appreciated. I really enjoyed today's episode. It was nice to share what I do with my shouts. Hopefully that'll help you guys. Also how I adjust and tweak my tactics. All the tactics will be linked down below in the description, and hopefully by the time this comes out I should have had a shouts guide published on footballmanagerstory.com, so hopefully there'll be a link in the description for you for that as well. Right, take care guys, see you later.